Yo! What's up, everybody? It's Ahmed Mano here, and today we're talking about something that's on all of our minds when we're dragging our butts through those crowded airport terminals, airport security. We see the long lines, the scanners, the occasional very official-looking dog sniffing around. But have you ever thought about what goes on behind the scenes? What are the things they don't want you to know? We're diving deep into the world of airport security to uncover the secrets that keep us safe in the air. We're talking about the stuff that's hidden in plain sight, the methods they use that you wouldn't believe, all in the name of keeping those flights running smoothly and, preventing any catastrophic incidents. Because let's be real, nobody wants to be that guy, right? So buckle up, because we're about to expose 10 airport security secrets that they hope you'll never even think about, let alone actually know. This is the stuff they don't put on those little laminated safety cards they pretend to read on the plane. Let's do this. All right, first up, let's talk about cameras. We've all seen them, those little domes up high, panning back and forth, recording everything. But what you might not realize is just how many cameras are actually watching your every move in an airport. Seriously, these places are like something out of a sci-fi movie. We're not just talking a handful of cameras covering the main areas, we're talking hundreds, maybe even thousands of cameras, strategically placed to capture every nook and cranny of the airport. Think about it. Check-in counters, baggage claim, those endless hallways leading to your gate, even the food court where you're trying to decide between a $15 soggy sandwich and a $10 bag of chips. Big Brother is watching you, my friend. But in this case, Big Brother is just trying to keep everyone safe. And these aren't your grandma's fuzzy security cameras either. We're talking high-definition, zoom-capable, license plate reading, face-detecting technology that can track your movement from the moment you step out of the taxi to the moment you board the plane. They can even tell if you're awkwardly trying to hide a suspicious-looking burrito in your carry-on. Don't act like you haven't been there. But here's the thing. They're not just randomly recording everything hoping to catch someone picking their nose or doing the chicken dance in the security line, although, let's be real, that would be pretty entertaining. This footage is constantly being monitored by actual human beings in a secret, hidden-away security room that probably looks like something out of 24. These security professionals are trained to spot suspicious activity, like someone leaving a bag unattended, someone looking nervous and out of place, or someone trying to sneak a live chicken onto the plane. It happens more often than you think. They're like the unseen guardians of the airport, always on the lookout for anything that seems off. And it's not just about catching the bad guys. This extensive camera system is also crucial for things like crowd control, emergency response, and even finding lost luggage. Because, let's be honest, who hasn't had that mini heart attack at baggage claim? So yeah, those cameras are everywhere, but hey, at least you know they're there for a reason. But let's be real, the cameras are just the tip of the iceberg. Airport security goes way deeper than that, and trust me, some of the stuff they're doing behind the scenes is straight up mind-blowing. Okay, so you know those airport security folks who always seem to be, intensely observing everyone? You know, the ones with the steely gaze and the no-nonsense demeanor? Well, they're not just bored and looking for someone to yell at. Although, let's be real, that probably happens sometimes too. They're actually trained in something called behavioral analysis. Basically, this means they're not just looking for people who fit a certain profile or look suspicious. They're looking for people who are suspicious. It's all about reading body language, micro-expressions, and those little subconscious cues that give away when someone's feeling anxious, nervous, or like they're trying to hide something. Think about it. You ever notice someone in the security line who's sweating bullets, avoiding eye contact? Or maybe they're a little too interested in what's going on around them? Those are the kinds of things that raise red flags for behavioral detection officers. They're trained to spot things like fidgeting, excessive yawning, because apparently that's a sign of nervousness. Who knew? And even the way someone walks. It sounds crazy, but they can actually tell a lot about a person just by observing how they move through the airport. Now, I know what you're thinking. So, if I trip over my own 2 feet while juggling my coffee and trying to find my boarding pass, they're going to think I'm a terrorist? Look, I'm not saying it's a perfect system, But these guys are trained to look for clusters of behavior, not just one-off things. So yeah, if you're generally acting like a normal, non-suspicious person, you've got nothing to worry about. But if you're sweating, pacing and mumbling to yourself about how you're going to blow this popsicle stand, well, then you might want to prepare for a little extra attention from the friendly folks in uniform. But behavioral analysis isn't just about catching the bad guys. It's also about identifying people who might be vulnerable or in need of assistance. For example, they might notice someone who seems disoriented, lost, or maybe they're traveling alone and look like they could use a helping hand. The point is, these security professionals are trained to be hyper-aware of their surroundings and to pick up on those subtle cues that most of us would miss. It's like they have a sixth sense for spotting anything out of the ordinary. All right, let's talk about everyone's favorite part of airport security, the scanners. You know, those giant intimidating machines that we have to shove our bags and our dignity through? Yeah, those things are more high-tech than you might think. We're not just talking about metal detectors anymore, people. Airport security these days is using cutting-edge technology to detect all sorts of things, from liquids and explosives to hazardous materials and even illegal wildlife, because apparently that's a thing people try to sneak through security. One of the most common types of scanners you'll see are X-ray machines. These bad boys use low-dose radiation to create images of the contents of your bag, allowing security officers to see what's inside without actually having to open it up. Now, I know what you're thinking. Radiation? Isn't that bad for you? Look, I'm not a scientist, but I'm pretty sure the amount of radiation you're exposed to from one of these scanners is less than what you'd get from eating a banana. But X-ray machines are just the beginning. Airports are also using something called millimeter wave scanners, which sound like something out of Star Trek, but are actually very real and very cool. These scanners use radio waves to create a three-dimensional image of your body, which can then be analyzed for any hidden objects like weapons, explosives, or that extra-large bag of chips you're trying to sneak onto the plane. And then there's the liquid scanners. Remember back in the day when you could just waltz through security with a giant bottle of water and nobody batted an eye? Yeah, those days are long gone. Thanks to those pesky terrorists and their love of liquid explosives, we now have to adhere to the 3-1-1 rule, which, let's be honest, nobody actually understands, and put all our liquids in those tiny little baggies. But those baggies aren't just for show. They're actually scanned separately using a special type of X-ray machine that can detect the density and composition of liquids. So if you try to sneak through a bottle of something that looks suspiciously like water, but is actually highly flammable hairspray, they're going to know about it. And if that wasn't enough, some airports are even using something called trace detection technology, which can detect minute particles of explosives or other hazardous materials on your clothing or belongings. It's like something out of CSI, but instead of solving crimes, they're just trying to make sure you don't blow up a plane. The point is, airport security is constantly evolving and adopting new technologies to stay one step ahead of the bad guys and gals. They're investing millions, if not billions of dollars in the latest and greatest security gadgets to keep us safe in the air. So the next time you're tempted to complain about having to take your shoes off or throw away your oversized bottle of shampoo, just remember, it's all for a good cause. Okay, let's talk about those random security checks. You know the ones. You're just minding your own business, strolling through security, and then BAM! You get pulled aside for a random pat-down or bag search. Now, I'm not saying that these checks are never actually random, but let's just say that there's a good chance there's a little more to it than just a roll of the dice. See, airport security is all about something called risk-based screening. Basically, this means they're using a bunch of different factors to determine who poses the biggest potential risk and who gets the extra attention. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of their algorithms because, let's be real, that's probably top secret information. But I've heard through the grapevine that things like your travel history, your method of payment, and even your behavior at the airport can all play a role in whether or not you get flagged for a random check. For example, if you're flying to a high-risk destination, paid for your ticket in cash, and you've been acting all shifty and suspicious in the security line, well, then you better believe you're going to get a little extra attention. On the other hand, if you're a frequent flyer with a squeaky clean record, you're probably going to breeze through security without a second glance. But here's the thing. Even if you do get selected for a random check, it doesn't necessarily mean they think you're a terrorist or a smuggler or anything like that. It just means that something about your profile triggered their algorithm, and now they have to do their due diligence. And look, I get it. Nobody likes being singled out or feeling like they're being profiled. But at the end of the day, airport security is all about keeping us safe, and if that means using a little bit of data analysis and risk assessment to determine who gets the extra scrutiny, then I'm all for it. Because let's be real, I'd rather be inconvenienced for a few minutes than end up on a plane with someone who shouldn't be there. So the next time you get pulled aside for a random check, just try to remember, it's not personal, it's just security. So, there you have it, folks. A glimpse behind the curtain of airport security. It's a world of high-tech scanners, behavioral analysis, and yes, even a little bit of randomness. But hopefully, now that you know a little more about what goes on behind the scenes, you can travel with a little more peace of mind. If you like this video, you will find more tips and secrets from us that will help you on your travels. Follow us on the Travel Smart Budget channel and enjoy the best destinations on a limited budget. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell to receive all the new travel and its secrets.